Hello, good evening, and welcome to Become a Better Man. My name is Tunde Disu, and thank you for being part of today's program. I appreciate your willingness to join me in this hour as we look at another interesting topic on this platform of Become a Better Man. In fact, today we are going back to the basics. We are looking at what it means to become a better man, or what it means to be a better person. And so the topic for tonight's program is the developmental journey of life. The developmental journey of life. Life is a journey. A day you were conceived, a day came when you were delivered, and every day from that day onward, you are developing, you are increasing, you are growing, you are expanding, both physically, especially physically, but at the same time, you are also developing emotionally and to some degree spiritually. And in every aspect, you are on a constant journey, you are constantly moving. There is no stagnation in life, whether you know it or not, whether you subscribe to it or not, it's immaterial. Life is a continuous journey that we all embark upon or engage with. And to some degree, the amount of cooperation that you give to that journey, the amount of commitment and the amount of interaction that you want to have, or that you invest in that journey, will ultimately determine what life gives back to you, will ultimately determine how life relates to you, how life treats you, and how much of life that you actually will enjoy at the end of the day. Take, for instance, there was a day you were enrolled in nursery school. If you are privileged to attend a nursery school, then one day you graduated from nursery school, now you're in primary school, and then each year you are examining whether you are ready to graduate to the next level or to move to the next class. All of that are journeys, are part of the journey of life, and all of that involves changing at different levels, at different times of your life. So life is constantly on the move. We are constantly changing. We are constantly growing. But you see, there is a major difference, a very big difference between growing and developing. There's a big chasm between growing and developing. I remember late Edwin Cole said, "To be male is a matter of birth, but to be a man is a matter of choice." And that simply means you are born male or female, and there's nothing you can do about that. But ultimately, what you become is not determined by your gender. What your life will produce will be determined by how much of yourself that you are investing, or you have invested in your life. So all you need to do is feed a child, and the child will grow. All you need to do is feed an idea, and the idea will grow. All you need to do is feed a momentum, and the momentum will grow. But growth necessarily does not equate development. Development, on the other hand, requires deliberate, purposefully action on your part and on my part. And that is what this platform is about. This journey of discovery is for us to find out what are the areas that I need to not grow but develop. In what aspect of my life do I need to not increase but to develop? And so this is what we've been doing for the past just over a year, nearly a year and a half, going to 2 years now, looking at different aspects of not just the growth, which is good, but also the personal development, because it is the summation of this personal development that will determine whether we become a better person or not at the end of the day. So on today's program, we're going to just really peel it back and just break it down and look at some of the, again, like we've done in the past, just look at some basic things that we need to take on board, that we need to challenge ourselves with. Things that will not just help us to grow, but will help us to develop, to increase, to enlarge, to reach further, to stretch ourselves. The truth is, there is no limit to how far you and I can go. There is no restriction to how far you and I can reach and achieve and develop. The only limit, the only restriction is the one that we place on ourselves. The only restriction, the only limit is the one that we encourage, that we solicit, and we allow to fester in our lives. So today's program is kind of, let's have a chat. Let's just talk. Let's really just break it down and look at what do we need to do? How have we come so far? Where are we going? How are we going to get there? And all of that. And so today it's going to be kind of very conversational. So I'm saying that to encourage your participation, to solicit really your involvement in today's program, and let's have some general interaction and see how we go. Like I said at the beginning, life is a journey. Life is a journey. From the day you were conceived to the day you eventually go back to your maker, you are constantly on a journey, and that journey is called life. So life is a journey. And so becoming a better person, becoming a better you, becoming a better species of who you are at the beginning should be the goal of each and every one of us. You don't want to remain stagnant. You don't want to remain just on the same spot, on the same level, at the same station. You want to constantly, continuously grow. And that should be the goal of your life and my life. How can I be better than I was yesterday? What can I do better this year than I did last year? How can I add value to myself and ultimately use that to be a blessing to other people? So life is a journey, and becoming better should be our everyday goal. So if that is true, then what we need to do is to make most of what we have, make the most of the life that we have, make the most of the moment that we have, make the most of the experiences and the encounters that we have along this journey. Because really that's all that is it for us. That is all that our life is about. It's about moving, it's about growing, it's about developing, it's about increasing. And as we do that, different things will happen along the line. But each and every one of those things are going to either add to us or subtract from us. The question is, or the challenge is, what side of that encounter would we want to be? An average person wants to be better. And that's the truth. An average person would like to become better, but at work and at home, at play, at church, at social gathering, and wherever, everybody wants to be better. But the reality is, even though everybody wants to be better, it is a continuous journey, which means we will never be perfect. But just because we will never be perfect does not mean that we should stop trying. We need to keep on trying. We need to keep on pushing. We need to keep on evolving. We need to keep on developing and becoming better than we were the day before, the month before, the year before. But there will never come a time when you reach a point of perfection. until you are standing face to face with your Maker. But we should not use that as an excuse not to at least try. Because becoming a better person simply means changing your habits, taking some risks, thinking differently from the way you used to. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not a walk in the park. It's an exciting, very exciting challenge. And once you commit yourself to it, once you throw yourself into it, as you grow along the line, as you grow and develop and improve and increase on that journey, others will notice it. They will commend you for it. Now, you're not doing it to show off, but at the same time, people cannot help to notice the difference that you are making with your life. And because they noticed it, they will always comment and pass comments about it. And it makes you feel better about yourself because you can see the reward of the efforts that you are putting into your life. So becoming a better person, becoming a better you, and becoming a better person, really, it's daunting, but at the same time, it's very exciting. Because becoming better is becoming more aware of yourself, becoming more aware of your motives, becoming less judgmental of others, when really you can at least show some empathy. It's becoming more concerned about the well-being of other people as well, rather than being self-centered and self-focused, because the more you improve, the better you become, the more you are able to also affect the lives of others that are around you. So becoming a better person, it's a wonderful, wonderful journey to embark upon. So in order for you to be better, or to become a better person, you have to becoming a better person simply means you need to be better, to care for others as you will want them to care for you, to give what you want people to give back to you, to sow what you would like to reap, to involve yourself in the things that matters, in the things that will make a difference, not just in your life, but in the lives of others. To be better, you must know your purpose. You must know your purpose, because without a clear consciousness of what you are, or who you are, or the purpose of your being, the Bible talks about where there is no vision, the people perish. If you don't know your purpose, if you cannot identify the reason you are who you are and why you are here, you will be totally lost in this vast world that we live in. You would live life drifting with the wave, with the change, and adapting to events rather than creating events. You will respond rather than to create the news. You will watch the news rather than becoming or making the news. But all of that will come together to make you a better person. Because without knowing the purpose of your life, without knowing the reason why you are here, without knowing the reason why you should pursue life with all that you've got, you will live a life that is both weakened and impotent in existence. You will live a life that is just coasting, that is not affecting, that is not reflecting, that is not really doing anything but just floating through the world. So in all of this, like I said, I would like for tonight's program to be very interactive. In all of this, there are certain questions that we must ask ourselves. there are certain things that we must challenge ourselves about. There are certain things, certain self-confrontational things that we must do, where we dig deep and ask ourselves the questions that maybe we don't want to answer, or we don't want others to ask us. But you see, in order for you to become better, you have to prune yourself. And part of the pruning, part of the self-surgery that you have to do for yourself, is by asking yourself, like I'm asking myself, and I will be asking myself, some questions that they are not soft, they're not palatable, they're not easy on the flesh, they're not easy on the mind, but at the same time, we need to ask them. So to become a better person, there's certain questions that you must ask and answer, because as you do that, those questions will help to design your self-awareness. It will help you to discover, in the process of answering them, you start to discover who you are and what you are and how you are and where you are and where you are going. These questions are meant to unnerve you, make you shake in your boot, to open up boxes in your life that you would rather not open, to make you want to shrink away, but at the same time, you know this is good for you. These are questions that will force you to look inward, to look deep on the inside, and open up yourself to yourself. Because until you know who you are and what your purpose is and what your goal is, you will not be able to map the route, the pathway to get to where you need to be. And you remember, like we've said from every week on this program, this is a journey of discovery. Becoming a better person is a journey of discovery. And part of the discovery process is facing these questions, answering or asking and answering these questions, because they will help you. They will help me. They will help all of us. And the more we are able to be open, sincere, and honest about them, the better we will all become ultimately. And when we all become better, guess what? This whole world will become a better place. So what are some of these questions? I'm going to just mention a few of them. All in all, I think I have about 20 of them. And if you are interested in the whole lot, just drop me a line, inbox me with your email or whatever, and I'll send them to you after the program. But I'm just going to go through some of them for time's sake. Some of these questions are things you've probably asked yourself before, some you've never asked yourself. So we're going to go through them. I'm not going to try to answer them. I'm just going to talk through them as we go along, or just ask them and go to the next one and to the next one for time's sake. So, question: what or who in your life is worth suffering for? What are you willing to suffer for, to labor for, to strive for, to go after with everything you've got? What in your life? What about you that will cause you to devote everything? Or who in your life would you give everything for? Because if your life is all about you, it's a sorry life. But until your life is reaching out to help, to bless, to enrich, to empower others, you are not living, you are just existing. Another question: what can your most aggressive judgment of others tell you about yourself? Your most aggressive judgment of others, what can they tell you about yourself? And please, as I'm talking about, as I'm throwing out these questions, if you have an idea or an answer or an opinion, feel free to just type it on and let's work together on this. What are your most aggressive judgment of others? What do they tell you about yourself? Somebody once said we judge others by their actions and judge ourselves by our opinions or our intentions. Are your opinions of others, are they fixed? Are they cast in stone, or do they evolve over time? Do you give people the second chance, the third chance, the benefit of the doubt, or do you just box them, label them, and shelve them? If you could meet the best possible version of yourself, if it's possible for you to maybe travel in time to meet the best species of yourself, what would that person look like? What would that you, the best you, what would it look like? Because if you are able to envisage what the best species or the best specimen or the best representation of yourself will be when you meet that person in future, then you start to work towards becoming that person now. Is this helping anybody? Do you often say what you believe, or do you say what you know others will agree with? Do you always speak from your heart, based on your values, based on your beliefs, based on your ideals, or do you just say what others will agree with because you don't want to lose their friendship, you don't want to rock the boat, you don't want to look like you're the odd one out? See, these are simple things, and yet they are profound in their effect and in the roles they play in our journey of development and the journey of discovery. Another question. If you were to die next week, God forbid, what would be the resounding sentiment that people will be sharing at your funeral? What will be the legacy? What will be the comments? What will people say about you when you're not there? Because whatever they will say about you when you are dead and gone will be determined by the type of life, the kind of life, the type of influence, the type of interactions that you have with people now. So what will people say about you? What will people say about me? How will life give a report of your life and my life? What will be our report card at the end of this life? What would it be? Now, does that mean you have to live your life just to please people? No. But it's not about pleasing people. It's about the effect and the effect of your life in the lives of others that will determine what they say about you. Another question you must ask yourself and answer is, if you could create anything that you want in life, anything, be it wealth, be it success, be it achievement, be it accolades, if you could create anything you want, but you don't have to show it to anyone. You don't have to flaunt it. You don't have to exhibit it. You don't have to display it to anyone. If you could create a life that is perfect, and then you don't have to flaunt it in anybody's face, what life would that be? What would that life be like? What would it look like? How would you choose what to create? You see, I know these are not questions that we encounter every day, and we don't think about some of them every day or forever. But you see, if the goal is for us to become better person, to become better man or better woman, these are some of the questions that we must ask ourselves. These are some of the confrontations that we must have, looking at ourselves in the mirror in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at night, whenever, and ask yourself these questions. Does your daily routine reflect your life goal, your purpose in life? The things you do on a regular basis, do they represent, or are they pointers to where you are ultimately going in life? Because if they are not contributing to your goal in life, guess what? They are stealing from your future. But you need to ask yourself, you must face these questions if you want to become a better person. The things that you envy in others, the things that you see in others, and you long for it, you want it, you crave it. What are those things saying about what you really want for yourself? Because some people have this erroneous humility mentality that, oh no, not for me. No. If there is anything that you see in others, that you see on others, that you know about others, and you crave it, you want it, you desire it, those are pointers to what you really, really want for yourself in life. Then go after them. Go get them, rather than just wishing and hoping. Another question. If you could travel back in time, if you could travel back, say 5-10 years from now, knowing all that you know now, what would you do differently? If you could take your life back 5 years with the knowledge that you have right now, knowing all that you know right now, having been exposed to all that you've been exposed to up to this point, what would you change? What would you do differently? I haven't seen anybody saying anything. Nobody has passed any comment trying to answer any of these questions. Can we be more interactive, please? What are some of those painful experiences that you have made a silent vow with yourself that you will never let this happen to you again? You will never go past this stage. You are going to build a camp on this issue. What are some of those things? Those painful, deep down painful experiences that you have been through, gone through, handled, managed, and survived, and you have made an inner vow with yourself that this will never happen to me again. What are they? What are they? What is that anger that you are bottling up on the inside? What will it take for you to release that anger? Who is that person that you have locked up in your prison and thrown away the keys? Who is that person? What will it take for you to let go of the anger and release that person from your prison? Somebody said, unforgiveness is drinking poison, hoping the other person will die. What will it take for you to release that person? To let go of that hurt and the anger? What will it take for you to make amends and reconcile and reconnect with that person? Your parents, your siblings, your neighbor, your spouse, your children, whatever, whoever, your boss, anybody who is in your prison tonight. What will it take for you to let that person out of the jail? These are questions that we don't ask every day, but we need to. For instance, at the end of your life, when you look back on the journey of your life, when you look back and take stock of all that you have done, all that you have seen, all that you have been through, all that you have handled and managed and all of that, what will be that one thing that will stand out as being the most important in your life? And at the same time, what would be that one thing that, looking back now, you just think, what a waste of time? What are those? Because if you are able to identify that one thing, that when it's all said and done, this one thing will be the outstanding, the most important thing that I can think and report that my life has accomplished, then pursue that thing from now. Become better at going after that thing. Some time ago, we did a program called How We Self-Sabotage Ourselves. So the question is, what are the most common ways by which you have been self-sabotaging yourself? And what are those things? What are they telling you about the needs in your life, the unmet needs in your life, the things that you need to pay attention to in your life? What are they? Somebody talk to me, please. I want to hear from you on any of these questions that we're talking about. What are they? If you have to leave your home tonight and leave your country tonight, leave where you are right now, and without the possibility of ever coming back, and you only have to take one box or one bag or one suitcase or whatever, what will be in that box? You have to leave now. The possibility of coming back is almost zero, but you're only allowed to carry one box or one suitcase or one bag. What will be in that box? What will be in that suitcase? What will be in that box? These are some of the questions we must ask ourselves. These are some of the questions that we must face on a daily basis. Because to the degree to which we are able to answer them, to the degree to which we are bold enough to confront them, is to the degree to which we will become better. Is to the degree to which we will develop and increase and improve and enlarge and become bigger and better than we are right now. Like I said, if you want the full list of these questions, just inbox me after the program with your email address and I'll send it to you. If you want to continue to grow as a person, if your goal, your desire is to continue on this improvement journey, if your passion is to become a better person, a better species, or a better version rather of you, you must be able to face yourself with these questions and answer them honestly, sincerely, and openly. If your goal is to become a better person, Apart from those questions, here are some other ways by which you can embark on it. Some things you can do, you can start to do even right now to get you to become a better person. So quickly, let's look at them in the few minutes that we've got left. The first thing is you must learn to compliment yourself. You must learn to compliment yourself. The life that we live, the society, the world in which we live is a cutthroat, competitive world. And everybody thinks if I recognize you, it will make me less. If I compliment you, it will take away from me. If I promote you, then I will have to demote. It is so based on win or lose. For me to win, then you have to lose. For you to win, then I have to lose. It doesn't have to be like that. In fact, it is not like that. My success has nothing to do to stop you from being successful, and vice versa. So one of the things you must do, therefore, since nobody is going to go out of their ways to acknowledge you, to celebrate you, to compliment you, you must learn to do that for yourself. Every morning when you wake up, take a couple of minutes and give yourself some compliments. When before you leave your house in the morning, stand in front of the mirror and compliment yourself. Compliment yourself about your outfit, about your look, about your success, about what you are working through, about what you have accomplished, about what you have completed. Compliment yourself about the skills that you have. What it would do is it would inject you with a little emotional boost, and in most cases that will carry you throughout the day. It will cause you to be happy with yourself, and when you are happy with yourself, it is contagious. You will have no choice but to spread it around about the people that are around you. And guess what? You are adding to them. And therefore you are becoming better at not just yourself, but at being a blessing to others. But all it takes is for you to look yourself in the mirror. It's for you to say to yourself, audibly, loudly, or silently to yourself, boy, you look good. You've got what it takes. You can face this task. You have the required skill. I mean, who would not want to be with somebody like you? Compliment yourself, because this world would rather trample you under their feet and shut down your glow and cover your grace. Help yourself, because the more you do that, you'll be happy. And when you're happy, it's an all-round thing. It will affect other aspects of your life. If you want to become a better person, stop making excuses. Don't make excuse. You see, when things happen to us or in our lives, we are always looking around to see who to blame. Your parents, your spouse, your children, your boss, your client, your customer, the weather, the government, the these and that. Now, I'm not saying those people they have no impact on us. They do. But continuously blaming others and pointing fingers at other things, it won't get you far. It will not get you far, because a time will come when you will run out of who to blame. I remember before I started wearing glasses, I was determined that I won't wear glasses. I just said no. But every time I need to read something, I am having to twist my neck and stretch back. And then somebody said to me, jokingly, a colleague in the office, Sadisu, what would you do when you get to the end of the length of your arm? Are you going to engage somebody to take the paper to the corner of the room so that you can read from afar? And I had to say, you know what? There's help out there. Let me get it. Instead of making excuses and pointing fingers at others, just accept your responsibilities. Take yourself seriously. Own your mistakes and learn from them. Life is not a bed of roses. Life is not a walk in the park. There are things that you will not see, that you will not know, that you will not have a clue about, but doesn't stop life from bringing them into your compound. Deal with them. When you personally start to live up to your own mistakes and accept your errors, when you start to do that, your life will start to turn around for the better. Because every time you blame somebody else, every time you point a finger at somebody else, you are taking away from yourself the opportunity for growth, for development, for improvement. You will become happier and healthier, and your relationship will improve generally when you start to own your mistakes and learn from them rather than pointing fingers and making excuses. To become a better person, you have to be honest and direct. You have to be. Always tell the truth. State things as clearly as possible. No ambiguity. No hiding behind the veil. No shading of the truth. Learn to articulate your thoughts and your feelings and your ideas and your mindset and your opinion. Put them in the open, but do it in an honest manner. When you do that, you're becoming a better person. Be helpful. Be helpful. Be helpful. Be helpful. And that being helpful can be in different versions, in different ways. I know society, the world said it's not cool, but it's not about being cool. It's about being a helpful person. There's nothing wrong in this day and age for you to give up your seat to an elderly or a disabled or a pregnant person or somebody with little children. You're on the train, you're in the bus, and you're sitting down there reading your newspaper while this person is. Just offer them the seat. What? What if you're on that train and the whole seats were taken before you got on it? Will you still not stand? You will. But be helpful. Help somebody. Help your colleague in the office on the project they're working on. Help even your subordinate with an issue they are dealing with and they can't make a way out, make a sense of it. Help them. Help your spouse in the house. Help your friends. Help your colleagues. Help your neighbor. the more you help others, the better you will feel about yourself, and the better everyone that you are helping will feel about you too. Be helpful. You want to become a better person? Learn to listen to others. Don't make yourself the fountain of knowledge. If it's not your opinion, if it's not your view, if it's not your point, then it's immaterial, it's irrelevant, it's of no consequence. No. I know you are smart, I know you are brilliant, I know you are excellent, but it doesn't make your opinion the final authority. Listen to people and give everybody a voice. It's one of the greatest things you can do, to give people audience, to allow them to express themselves, to let them share their viewpoint. And you listen, not with a mindset of, I know what you're going to say anyway. No. Listen with the mindset of, I'm going to learn something from this. The truth is, you learn more by listening than by talking. Being a good listener can literally change your life in a positive manner beyond your wildest dream. Be a good listener. You want to become a better person? Always be polite. Again, that is a dying virtue in the world today. It's almost a taboo to be polite these days. No. There is grace. There is honor. There is maturity. There is growth and excellence in saying thank you, in saying please, in saying excuse me, in asking for and receiving permission. There's nothing wrong with that. Be polite. Because acts of politeness that you show towards somebody can make their day. Just the fact that you are respectful, just the fact that you are polite, just the fact that you show good manners, especially in this world where there is none, it stands you out. It stands you out among the crowd. When somebody is rude to you, make a decision that you're not going to take the bait. Make a decision that you are going to be polite. Because the way somebody behaves towards you is not an excuse. It should not determine how you respond. Your response should be a decision that you make in yourself that I am going to be polite, irrespective of what you say or do. If you want to become a better person, be open to change. Be open to change. The only thing constant in this life is change. There's always something changing. There's always something changing. But if your mind, your heart, your head is all locked up to say, this is what I know, this is what I believe, and that's all it's going to be, you won't grow. You won't develop. You won't increase. And you will never become a better person. Because change allows you to grow. Because it exposes you to new experience. It helps you to see new things, to feel new way, to experience new things in life. And those are ways by which you grow and develop. When was the last time you've been to a restaurant and you tried something new from the menu rather than the same fish and chips and steak and onion that you have all the time. Try something new, try something different. Expose yourself to new ideas, new culture, new people, new ways of life. Try new food. It won't kill you. Even if you had a running stomach, after 3 days it will clear. But at least you've experienced it. Go to places. Travel. Come on, get out of your village and see what's happening on the other side of town. Meet new people. See new things. Expose yourself to new culture and new environment. When you are open to change, it helps you to be highly functional. It also boosts your self-confidence. You just grow from the inside. You are not limited to your village and your 3 cousins and their neighbors. No. Your tentacle is spread wide. Also, if you want to become a better person, learn to be yourself. Learn to be yourself. Don't be an actor. Stop faking it. Stop pretending to be. Just be. There are no 2 people like you. You might as well enjoy being who you are. Because it will enable you to align yourself with your values and your core beliefs. It will establish your identity. It will build courage in you. It will help you to create boundaries and find focus and determine what you want, where you want, and what direction you're going by being yourself. You want to become better? Want to become a better person? Recognize your weaknesses. There's nothing wrong. And I know the society we live in has made having weaknesses as almost having been a leper. No. Remember, we are all work in progress. We are all going towards, we are all becoming, we are all striving to arrive. You and I are we're not a finished product yet. We are on our way to becoming. So, in the course of the journey of life, there are things that you will not be able to do well. Recognize your weaknesses. Because if you don't recognize them, you won't be able to address them and work on them to improve them and turn them from being a negative subtraction to a positive addition to your life. Recognize your weaknesses. Remember, the goal of life is not to become perfect. The goal of life isn't to be a perfect person, it's to walk towards perfection. It's the goal of life is striving to improve, to become better. That's all this is all about. Recognize your weaknesses, but be careful that you don't overly self-criticize yourself, which again can become a yoke on its own. Don't beat yourself up and choke yourself with, oh, this, I'm not good for nothing. Look, I can't even do anything right. No, that's not what we're saying. That is not what we're saying. Recognize your weaknesses without being overly criticizing or critique. Make a list of your weaknesses, identify them. Find a way to strengthen those areas where you are weak. Do it one at a time. Don't choke yourself with everything. You can't turn your whole life from head to toe around in one go. Do it one step at a time. Because with every one that you do, with every achievement, it encourages you, it boosts your energy, it pushes you to go further to the next one. But if you try to do everything all at once, it will overwhelm you and you will give up even before you start. Focus on one area at a time. Focus on one thing at a time and create specific strategies to get improved, to become better. You want to become a better person. Remember, life is a journey. Life is a journey. And becoming better must be our everyday goal. Becoming better means changing your habit, taking some risks, and thinking differently. Be aware of your motives. Be less judgmental of others when a little ounce of empathy will do. Ladies and gentlemen, we all can become better. We all can become better men and better women if we would just take on board some of these things that we're talking about tonight, and I will talk more as we go along. None of us is a write-off. No. I don't, irrespective of how far you've gone, how many times you've failed, and that's not the point. You are never a failure until you fail to keep trying. Let's go again. Get yourself up again. Go after it again. Don't give up on yourself. Keep working on yourself. Keep your focus on the ultimate goal. Set a goal for your life and pursue it with everything. The more you do that, the better you will become as a person. And the better you are as a person, the better you are able to touch others and influence them. Had an interesting feedback last week or so from my brother-in-law about this program, and he said, the thing about your program is every time you are on, you are telling us to do something to do. And I said, well, that's how we're going to get better. We have to continuously, constantly doing something, because nobody else will do it for us. So, ladies and gentlemen, if your goal and my goal, if our goals is this thing called better person, becoming better in who we are and what we are and how we are and where we are, then these are some of the things that we need to take on board. And remember, like I said, that list of questions, if you want it, just inbox me with your email address and I'll send it to you. But those are critical questions that we must ask ourselves. But more than that, try to answer them. As we do that, you and I, we will become better men and better women. Thank you for your time tonight. Thank you for being part of tonight's program. If you have any question about what we've said tonight, feel free to drop me a line, ask me do an inbox or any way you can get hold of me. And also, please, if you have not shared this program tonight, we all need this because we all have areas in our lives where we can become better. Share it with somebody. Share it with somebody. Click the share button and let somebody else see it on your timeline. Talk to somebody else about it. Be a blessing to somebody. And I'm sure they will thank you for it. So until we meet again next week, don't forget, we're not quitters. We are not quitters. We are winners. We will not stop. We refuse to cave in and give up on ourselves and on this journey of discovery to becoming better men and better women. So until we meet again next week, thank you. And may God richly bless you. See you next week. Bye-bye.